Football 93, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, BP Australia, Carlton and United Breweries, Telecom Australia, McDonald's, Nike, ANZ Australia, Commonwealth Bank, RACB Car Insurance, Vulcan and Mitre 10. In 1975, Ron Barassi coached North Melbourne to their first premiership. Today, he'll be hoping his new charges can severely dent North's premiership aspirations for 1993. The Roos, however, will be keen to keep winning in the lead-up to their first finals berth in 6 years. It's Sydney versus North Melbourne on AFL Live.
Summer-like conditions in Sydney. A very good afternoon, everyone, from the Sydney Cricket Ground, and welcome to the Swans' last home game at the SCG for season 1993. And I guess in one way it's rather appropriate too, because Ron Barassi at the helm goes up against a side that he guided to its first premiership back in 1975. North Melbourne, of course, have ideas today as they come out onto the SCG, which again looks fairly well manicured. They have ideas of finishing on top of the ladder, and indeed they can do that if they win here today, and of course if they win their remaining match next week. The Roos currently in second position on the ladder with 48 points, and as I said, if they win today and win next week, they will finish on top spot. Recently they lost a couple of matches. Wayne Carey, their captain, returned to the North Melbourne lineup against Richmond last week, and immediately he made his presence felt, with the Kangaroos returning to the winning list after 2 losses, while Carey was absent through injury. Of course, he makes a great deal of difference to the side, and in the eyes of many, should win the Brownlow medal this year. When they last met, that was in round 6. North Melbourne won by 124 points. It was their highest ever score against Sydney. They have won their last 6 games against the Swans, and in fact they haven't lost at the SCG since 1988. Well, Ross Glendinning and Dennis Cometti, have the Roos improved since Barassi took over?
Well, good afternoon, Pete. I guess it's a question of degree, is Rice. When I've seen them play, they have been harder, I think fitter as well. I saw them against Essendon, they played well, but I mean, they're no world beaters still, are they?
No, well, I saw them last week, Dennis, and I thought they were much better than other games I have seen them in. And some players have improved in areas, but he's still not getting the consistency from some of his better players that he needs to keep them at a better level. And if we look at the Sydney side there, Bayes played a fullback last week. He needs to be the leader in that area. Scotty Waters, they welcome him back into the side. He's been very good this season since crossing from the Eagles. Minton Connell last week, 8 goals. They would need that effort again. Osborne needs to be better. And Stafford I was impressed with in the ruck.
And what about North? Well, back on track. Carey back last week. Rock booted 4 goals, I guess. A question mark over Adrian McAdam now. They need more from him. Last time these two sides played, he was playing his second game. He booted 10 goals, but he's experienced something of a drought in recent weeks.
OK, and of course John Blakey this afternoon playing his 150th senior game. Of course, he played many of those with Fitzroy. One of the matches being played today, the penultimate round of season 1993. That's at the Melbourne Cricket Ground between Melbourne and Richmond. And we'll be keeping you up to date with progress scores and during the course of the afternoon. And of course, many viewers taking a replay of that game at the conclusion of our SCG telecast. And so when the scores come up, or prior to that, we'll be asking you to look away if you don't wish to see the score. A great day here in Sydney. We'll check the weather when we return to the SCG after this. First quarter from the SCG. Can the Swans salvage something against one of the premiership favourites? Lewis, first kick of the match up towards half forward. McRae knocks the ball further forward. Kelly will look for someone going past. Lawson, and just touched off the hands of Minton Connell, and through for the first behind.
It was a real tumbler of a kick, Pete. I mean, he does get up a fair head of steam, Jamie Lawson. If he had just steadied a little, the kick would have been better.
Yes, he was well within kicking distance. So Allison now towards Stevens. Great success story this year, him. Ramiro to this star-studded North Melbourne forward line. Longmire, Carey. Will we see McAdam in this play? Not this time. Rock. They certainly missed him when he was out injured. Lawson covering plenty of territory early. The Swans just can't afford to give a start today. Osborne, what's he doing down there, you'd ask the question. Where is he playing, Ross?
He's starting up half-forward flank, so he's just come right down the ground.
Has he what? So boundary throw in. Crocker up high. Can't clear the pack with the punch. German might have taken the opponent a little bit too high. Umpire elects to let it go. A bit of a scramble. McMahon, a quick kick out of the pack to the advantage of his side, only by about 10 to 15 metres. And Scholl takes the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in close to the centre wing position on the member stand side.
Craig Scholl is the player picking up Richard Osborne.
Swans bench on what is a terrific day. Schenko directs it down. Stevens didn't have the ball. Held to him, says the umpire. So it was in there somewhere. A bounce forward of the wing to North. In front of our commentary position. Not a particularly good bounce. Opportunity for Lewis. He goes to ground, taken high. He'll get the free kick. Dale Lewis has tried hard all season long. He's at right half back. Towards half forward. Not a particularly good kick. Schwass has got it now. It was lazy by Lewis. McRae gets it back. Sweeping hand pass. This is Bayes inside the centre square. Sets it up for Mitten Connell. Mitten Connell goes back. Great work by Stafford off the ball.
Yes, it certainly was that. He gave Minton Connell every chance. And I just wonder whether Dean McRae, a former North Melbourne player, actually called Wayne Schwass for a handball then, because the ball came pretty quickly to him.
I remember that, boys.
Nice little play, that.
So Minton Connell, who's been terrific in recent weeks. 8 goals last week. 8 the previous week. Sharp angle. This for a 7-point lead. They've got it. He's got it.
Simon Minton Connell's 33rd goal of the year.
And here we just see this interception here by Schwass initially, then a quick handball. You could have sworn there that McRae called for the footy, even though McAdam was behind him. And Bayes, as usual, a very long kick to find Minton Connell, and Stafford, good work off the footy.
And great kick for goal, as it turned out. And Dennis pointed out they're not good starters, the Sydney Swans. Well, today, so far at least, they've got up to a better start than they have in many of their previous matches. Schwass knocks it to Rose. Good tackle, Stevens. Ball spills free. Chance for Schwass again. McRae goes down in the tackle. Well, McAdam, that was just about a throw. Adelson. Longmire. Werner does well. No options there for him except the boundary line, and he takes that. End result of which is going to be a throw in 60 metres from North Melbourne's goal. This quarter, kicking to the left, which is the Bradman stand end of the SCG. Carey goes up. Ramiro and Higgins. With that right knee pretty heavily bandaged after the knee operation he had. About a 4 or 5 inch scar on it. He seems to be moving well now. Just a lot of football through it, of course. Son a problem at this time of the day with these throw-ins. Carey for Rock. Well, gee, did Rock pull up a little gingerly there?
On a hamstring,
I think he has. McRae, gee, that's bad news for North. Let's hope it's not too serious. If there's any doubt, he'll be taken straight off. Schwass from Scholl. Great attempt to mark down there. Kelly finally picks up the crumbs. That was Mooney. He's got another chance here, but Crocker runs into trouble through McRae. Now it's Laidley. Werner will go the punch. He does. And this is young McMahon.
Goes in very short. Was it 10? Well, he marked it and walked across the boundary line to go back and take his kick. Rock seems to be moving okay now. I think Kelly Conn, the umpire there. The kick goes around the outer side. Schenko is up, knocked away by Rose. This is Stevens, back across his body. Out comes Carey, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Ramiro from 40, goal.
Sydney by a point. Rock still on the ground, but just looking at him through the glasses looks a little bit proppy still. However, if there was any doubt, I dare say he'd come off. Still flexing that leg. Be a real blow for North, so close to the finals, to do a hamstring, wouldn't it?
Yes, he only just come back from injury too, Pete.
Yeah. Rose up high. Lewis runs into a brick wall down there, not going anywhere. And so another stalemate. It will be yet another bounce. Big Alex falls over.
Wind sprung up.
Need to be a fair wind. Gets off the ground pretty well. Rose. Looping hand pass. Sydney player taken high. Dale Lewis. The advantage is paid. Minton Connell. Have to get back quickly. He does. Will he go off the ground? Tries to paddle it forward. Archer. Good defence. Snapshot by Bryce against his old club. Oh, what a goal! Terrific goal from Bryce. What a shot. Well, it'll take a bit of beating for Gover today. That 2-1 to 1 goal.
Well, he kicked a couple of great goals last Friday night. In fact, he kicked 3 in the second quarter. And this equals and even betters one of those from Friday night. Clever stuff. Left footer that he is. He has some good skill there. Good work by Minton Connell to get the ball around. That's a great kick. In fact, Craig Scholl is now picking him up. John Blake did the job in his 150th game on Osborne. Yes, I dare say Rock might be coming off for Pyman to come on.
There's Rock in the foreground. Well, half of him. There's the bounce. One down by Ashenko. McAdam out of the congestion. A high kick. It floats down towards the 50. Over the top, Bayes got a fist on it. Carey's hand pass was charged down. Well played by Bayes. Osborne is in there. Grabs it. Smothered by McAdam. It spills out wide. Opportunity for Allison. Wants his left side. Cost him dearly. Play on's the call. And away comes Kelly. Running through half-back. Probing kick down towards the attacking 50 for his team. Scholl so good in defence all season long. Breaks away again. Back towards the wing. It was ill-directed. Lewis has it. Some indecision. Needs to get rid of it now. Lost it. Well played by Stevens. This is Pyman. Hurried kick towards the 50. Roberts is up in front. It was knocked away there by Mooney. Coming through was Crocker. He was pushed in the back and he'll get a free kick. Darren Crocker just outside the 50. Goes for distance. Longmire in best position. Was held surely. No free kick. And away comes Brunton. He goes close to the boundary line. It pitches out of bounds and will be thrown in. Well, I could have sworn I saw a jumper being held down there.
Yes, I'd have to agree there. Umpires today, Hayden Kennedy and Gavin Dorr, as Anthony Rock gets some treatment for that hamstring.
Rotten luck after being injured against the Brisbane Bears. He's fought back. Great game last week. And in trouble again as Carey paddles it towards the boundary line. It's out of bounds.
Yes, hammies can take a while too. Just a strain though. They've done the right thing by taking him off early. Boundary throw and left half forward for North. Roberts and Mooney. Plenty of North players at the fall of the ball. Ramiro is there. Brunton, Pyman, and out of bounds again. Almost the identical spots. Rod Carter, what's the news on Anthony Rock?
He has a strained left hamstring. We're not quite sure how severe it is. They're treating him on the boundary and they hope that he'll be back into the game.
Okay, thanks, Rocket. Sydney free kick going to Kelly. Low trajectory pass. Schwass intercepting beautifully. Just a little short of left half forward. Kicks into the forward pocket. Werner should be able to mark. He's Longmire's opponent at the moment. Just pointing to the umpire and where Peter German is standing. Werner from right back pocket. Oh, he's kicked it straight in the Ashengo direction. Should have marked that. Osborne, quick hand pass. High tackle. That was on Paul Bryce. And the ball rebounding out of bounds. It will be a throw-in. Bryce kicking that miraculous goal only a couple of minutes back.
Sydney lead by 7 points. Thrown in. Lewis going nowhere. Crocker hits it down. McMahon's high kick down towards half forward. Over the top, fisted away down there by Ross Smith towards the boundary. It runs out of bounds. So the start we were talking about for Sydney so far has been there. They've got a reasonable start, bearing in mind North booted 71 points in the first term back in round 6 and finished the day with 229, 35-19. Quite remarkable. Longmire got 9 that day. McAdam 10. Here's Schwass. All behind him though. Cresswell sockers it inside the attacking 50 for the Swans. Archer did well to win front position, slapped it away. Romero taken high, and he'll get the free kick. Romero plays on. Laidley, looping hand pass. McAdam obviously pushed up the ground this afternoon. Boots it towards the wing. Waters is out there. Got a very unfavourable bounce. Carey at close quarters to Stevens. High kick inside the 50. Here comes Longmire, full-chested, storming up the ground. Marks just inside the 50. Will go for distance. Good-looking kick, marvellous kick, goal.
So back to the centre, John Longmire kicking his 71st goal for the year, 71-29. He's amassed great accuracy, Osborne, but it's going to be a free kick to North Melbourne, and the recipient's going to be Peter German. Carey, body strength to get rid of Bays, and he won't have any trouble kicking the distance from there. Carey's kicked 56 goals for the year. This should be 57. One of the Brownlow medal favourites. Had a great first part to the year. Missed a couple of games through injury. When he and Anthony Rock were on the sidelines, it is true, North Melbourne did struggle. Goal. North in front. So Wayne Carey kicking his first. Romero, Carey and Longmire, the goal kickers for the Roos, and they lead by 5 points.
And that mark exemplifies how he has often taken a mark this season, using his body strength and guile just to get his opponent out of the way. And Mark Bay's not an easy player to move off the footy. And as usual, he finishes off very well as Wayne Carey.
So North lead it by 5 points, just over 13.5 minutes till quarter time. Gavin Rose confronts Alex Zyshenko and wins. Pyman grabbed by Osborne. It's wedged between the pair of them, and we'll have a bounce. Alongside the centre circle on a glorious day here in Sydney. Plenty of players around the ball. Bad bounce. I like that at Hawthorn. Blakey missed it. Opportunity for Higgins, dragged off it. Ross Smith kicks it out wide. Osborne leads in the race. Watch out for the fence about here. Osborne pushed across the boundary line, and it will be thrown in.
It's interesting with that bounce too, Dennis. I mean, that's part of our game, the unpredictability of the bounce of the ball. Why throw it up?
I agree. So a throw in. Right half forward for the Swans now. Zyshenko's in front. Rose from behind. Neal an opportunity. Couldn't control it. McRae against the flow. Smith is in there. It spills back to McRae. He's been busy. The hand pass intercepted by Laidley. Tackled by Neal. Overrun by Osborne. Back comes Laidley at close quarters. Tries to get it to Smith. He missed it. McRae's in there. Osborne's got it now. It ricocheted off Blakey. Osborne kicks it directly out of bounds on the full near the 50.
There's two former Fitzroy teammates there. And Blakey, good pressure.
Wayne Schwartz to take the free kick just up from the back pocket. I guess one of the reasons Osborne may have discarded the head gear today is the temperature. It's pretty warm wearing that around all day. Free kick from the back going North Melbourne's way. They're doing well with the free kick so far. 2 to Sydney and 4 to North now. Big Alex. Well bandaged, you'd suggest. Kickers to half forward. Carey misjudged it badly. Waters, who's done pretty well since transferring from the West Coast Eagles. Rose, speaking of West Australians. Long hand pass up towards right half forward. Creswell, centering kick from him. Kicks right on 50, badly directed. And Scholl takes the mark. Straight down the corridor from him. Kelly in front. Takes the mark over the top of his teammate Lewis. Bad hand pass. And McAdam will stare at Schwartz's caught. Another chance for Lewis. And the mark taken by Bryce. Well, they did well to get out of that, Sydney. A couple of mistakes at midfield. Could have been a costly turnover. As it was, they had the ball on their half-forward line.
It was a low-key advantage, I'll say that.
My word.
Okay. The umpire's a master of understatement.
Paul Bryce for his second. Looks all right from here.
So the Swans back in front. Seesawing affair. Early going here at the SCG.
Sloss been taken off, Dennis, for that indiscriminate effort against Lawson, I would suggest.
Replaced by the 19th man. Up goes Ashenko. Cresswell, a hurried kick into the congestion. Ashenko slaps it out. Waters, the hand pass taken by German. Up he comes again like a cork in the ocean. German. The base of that is Kelly. And a whistle. Kelly moving rather gingerly.
Somebody fell on him.
Ron Barassi on the far. Another wayward bounce. Ashenko goes up, smashes it about 20 metres. Taken by Lawson. Swung off the ball down there. Missing it was Ramiro. Eventually it comes towards Mooney. Ashenko did well against the flow to Stevens. Man on down the ground is Roberts. But his fingertips to it. Goes back and gets it. Lines up goal and sneaks it through. North get their fourth. They're 4 goals straight. Sydney are 3-1.
Yes, he's been a very handy player as Foss comes back onto the ground. He spent the last couple of minutes on the phone to Dennis Pagan, obviously getting a very stern message. So Pyman is off, and Stevens, who's been a terrific player all season in a tagging role, was the player to move the ball forward. And Roberts, who's no stranger to this ground, kicks one of his very good goals for the season.
So goals are plenty in the first quarter. 4 to North and 3 to Sydney. 19 players, 24. Stevens runs at it. Got to be a juggle. And Sydney finally get clear. Ball driven away up towards half forward from McMahon. And Minton Connell leading out well. Well, he's been in great form of late. He's kicked one today.
Yes, and Gavin McMahon, the player who kicked that ball forward, is a very likely prospect. Good, strong-looking cut of a lad.
Only a teenager.
Yes, played in the New South Wales Teal Cup side in 1991.
The goal that Minton Connell did kick today was from a similar angle, but a little bit closer in. Coming away at the last minute. A fade in golfing terminology, and one behind. To Simon Minton Connell, 1-1 his tally, 3-2 to 4 goals. So 5 effective scoring shots to 4, but Sydney trailing by 4 points.
It's like Wayne Swash now has got the job of picking up Kelly, with Anthony Stevens picking up Scotty Waters.
9 minutes left in the first quarter, and Ross Smith to kick in, and there's a free kick off the ball. It's going North Melbourne's way.
Yeah, for holding on, Pete.
And Mann is going to take it. He gets the hand pass over to Laidley.
Laidley down towards half forward, a very high kick, and why not? Carries the target. It was fisted away by Bays. Allison gets it to Crocker. Crocker across his body. In the road, Brunton. Brunton swings it out wide, intended for Rose, who's trying to run off Ashenko. Good success that time. More mobile. Here's Kelly again, forward of half back. Chip pass. Waters into open space. Had 40 games for the West Coast Eagles. A very valuable pickup this season for the Swans inside the 50. Martin did well, although Minton Connell has it. He likes this sort of shot. He hits the post. You can see he sets himself for that one. Almost bent it back far enough.
Yes, and Glenn Archer is the player who has the job on Minton Connell, and Archer's picked up a number of the key forwards in the opposition sides, as has Ben Hart with Adelaide. Short player, but plays quite tall, as they say.
Smith goes very wide for Mann, twisted away by Stafford, who goes on to mark the ball. Cresswell's got it now inside the 50. Vacant goal square. The kick just off target, so they're peppering the goals. Sydney 3-4 and North Melbourne 4 straight.
It's a good sign too, Dennis, because North just look a bit rattled at the moment. A few of their players unsure of where their Sydney players are.
Talking about Gavin McMahon before, I was looking at his profile. Under nickname, they've got Macca. Obviously, the boys stayed up late thinking that one up. Smith boots it towards the outer side. Scholl tries to knock it away from Lawson. Close to the boundary line, it's out of bounds.
Plenty of endeavour being shown by the Sydney team at the moment. Ron Barassi would love to do well against his old side. Well, one of them. Martin. Ramiro gets the run. Does well. Good tackle on him. It's going to be a Swans free kick out of all that. It's going to Higgins. One of the more mobile on ballers the Swans have had in the last few seasons, bar one. which, as I said earlier, he missed through a knee injury. Little fluky breeze has sprung up now. Could make the difference between a goal and a behind here. Right on 50. Higgins. Plenty of height with the kick. Accuracy looks pretty good. Oh, what a beauty. It's a goal. Swans in front.
So the Sydney Swans very competitive. They lead by 4 points. There's the time remaining. Rose goes up and gets it down. German in real trouble. Held to him, says the umpire. And a bounce on that centre square. It's Peter German. Schenko hooks it down. Laidley was held without it. Dean Laidley will get a free kick out towards the wing. His old team West Perth playing their last game this afternoon at Leederville in Western Australia. They're off to Joondalup. Oh, great mark. Bays over the top of Carey. And when you consider the quality of the opposition, that's a terrific effort. A chest mark on somebody's shoulder towards the outer side. McRae has it knocked away by Laidley. He recovers best. He's close to the boundary line. He pulls it back. Osmond's in front. In close attendance was Blakey, taken by Martin away to Roberts. Roberts with some time at half back. It's the hand pass across to Allison. Some indecision. Eventually he goes for distance down towards half forward. Carey props in front. He attracted a crowd. This is Romero. Boots it inside the 50. These two guys, the only two inside the 50. But it favours Werner. And Werner comes away, aided by that bounce, has a few himself. Gets it across to Lawson. Lawson right half back, kicks it down towards half forward. Martin leads in the race. Bryce in pursuit. The boundary line coming up. So is the fence, and the ball's out of bounds.
Fence very close to the line here at the SCG, and really on the wings you'd have to say there's no real need for it because the ground is so wide. So boundary throw in right half forward for Sydney, doing well in the first quarter. Plenty of endeavour. Schenko and Rose go at it. Higgins a chance. Kelly taken down. No one's going anywhere.
Yes, and Anthony Stevens now has been moved on to Kelly.
Good signs out there, Ross, for Sydney.
Yes, there are. Their endeavour's been very good. They want front posse, and their aggression is at the football. Good to see.
There's plenty of talking out there and patting each other on the back and what have you. Good stuff. Blakey, game number 150. Bryce, good effort to mark over Martin. Now McAdam. Rose. De Schwass went through without it initially. Ross Smith, a real stalwart for North Melbourne and Victoria, comes out wide. Allison on his own. It's unusual to see him in a short-sleeved jersey. Too warm for that today, though. Carey in front. Can't take the mark. Might have got a free. Roberts. Brunton, likewise, could have got a free. He was held. Umpire swallowed the whistle, I think. Lewis tries to paddle it forward. Higgins runs into German and McAdam. Romero tries to pinch it, still might do so. Roberts, and the refrigerator wasn't going anywhere either. Now it's Crocker a chance. Spears the pass out to Allison. He can kick a goal. 30 metres out directly in front. Goes goalward and gets it.
Centre square infringement. North lead by 2 points. The Swans with the free. Archer almost pushed in the back. Minton Connell's got it. He was taken high, and he'll get a free kick. Well, it was the second kick, and Archer's making the point. I thought he was pushed in the back initially. Still, hard for the umpire if they're coming down the ground from the centre bounce. Although the umpire's pretty close.
Close enough.
Close enough, if good enough.
And I think that centre square infringement was against McAdam.
So, Simon Minton Connell kicking at his second. He's hit the post already as well. And this to regain the lead. If it's a goal, the Swans will lead by 4 points. 3:22 remaining in the term. Minton Connell has been in terrific form in recent weeks. He starts it right at Ben's back. It's a goal. He has 2, and Sydney has the lead again.
This is very good stuff from Sydney. It's good to see this. This is the free kick again. As you see Minton Connell taken high there. And he is a very good kick at the footy, and with his 8 goals last week, full of confidence. And we would hope from Sydney's point of view that he moves to Sydney full-time next year so he can train with the players on a regular basis.
2 goals to Simon Minton Connell. Creswell to Lewis. Lewis from the edge of the square, kicks to half forward, and Martin. Safe mark.
Bad kick straight to Lewis again, who was more surprised than anyone, I think. Minton Cottle a chance if he can get clear, likes this pocket, bulldoze it back into play. One-on-one duel. Now Archer should be able